Hello YouTube, Miller Corner here, welcome back once again and welcome today to Stratton Motors here in Norwich. Now why am I here? Because Stratton are actually a Lotus specialist. What's so special about Lotus, you might ask? Well, that's the thing. Lotus is one of those brands where if you get it, you really get it. You love it, you adore it, you love everything they do. And if you don't get it, you just sort of, it's those weird cars from Norfolk that fall apart and break down, right?
Some say that this stands for lots of trouble, usually serious.
I don't know that much about Lotus, but I've always had kind of a passing interest in them. So I've come down to Stratton's open day to learn more about why these sports cars are apparently world beaters. So we're a better place to start these four. These four are something a little bit different. These are Evora GT Es. Now these were released a few years ago and originally only designed for the Chinese market and essentially a hardcore, lightened, aggressive, almost like a Porsche GT3 but for a Lotus Evora. Stratton have mocked up a few here and you will notice that they are all absolutely awesome. This one's in kind of a Nardo grey type colour. These wheels are gorgeous, really nice, and carbon absolutely everywhere. There's little moustaches there, there's a front lip, so nice. There's massive carbon mirrors, huge and delicious carbon side skirts, and a massive wing, and the same V6 that the Evora normally has. This is really nice and I like the spec on this too. This white one is much of the same really, not a great deal to say about it, but I'll be honest with you, I prefer the Nardo grey one there. This one is properly cool. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's got like a flip-flop effect almost. The paint on this is amazing. And I'm told this is actual paint as well, not a wrap. This is painted like this and it's just stunning, isn't it? Normally when they have kind of teledial wheels like this that make it look like they're moving, but the problem is that on the other side they obviously look like they're going backwards, so these type of wheels don't normally work. Well, you may notice that on this side they're pointing forwards and on this side they're also pointing forwards. Now that's because they took the time to manufacture separate wheels for separate sides of the car. That is attention to detail, and this is a properly aggressive beast and I bet it drives amazingly. And this, like the other ones here, is clad in excessive amounts of carbon and that is gorgeous. Proper manual gearbox look, lovely seats, carbon on the roof and on the windscreen mast. You've got to be different to have one of these. You don't go and buy this if you're a Porsche person or if you're a Jaguar person. You buy an Evora or any Lotus, in fact, to be different. And I think that's the thing, they're different to everyone else. They make different cars to everyone else, which is why they're so incredibly cool. It's cool to be different, as I'm trying to showcase on this channel. These cars just show I don't want to run with the pack. So this Lotus Elise is from Lotus's Driving Academy, you can see there. And this is basically a kind of learn how to drive on track, learn how to drive fast thing that Lotus do. And I think this is a really cool idea. The Elise is a brilliant my first track car and it's not too fast. So it's probably the perfect car to learn how to drive on track with. Must get a go in an Elise at some point because I've always liked these things and they're probably a really good car to learn rear wheel drive and track driving, all that kind of stuff. So as a Driving Academy car, Elise, go for it. This is cool. This is a V6 E-Siege, and if you're ever in any doubt about how cool Lotuses are, look at this thing. It's got a massive wing at the back, massive canards, twin exhaust pipes. This is so cool, and this will match a Porsche Cayman S on track, but it will be different and it will frankly sound better than a 718 Cayman as well. You've got to be different to choose one of these over a Porsche or an M2, and that's what I'm trying to get across with Lotus. They're really cool cars, but no one really chooses them, and the Exige, perfect example. This Evora 400 is something quite special indeed. If you didn't recognise that number plate, this Evora 400 belongs to a certain Mr. JM of JM on Cars, who is here today as well, and this is a really cool car. He's part of Yellow Crew as well, obviously, because he knows what he's doing. This is a really awesome looking thing, isn't it? I mean, look, that is so aggressive and sound awesome too. One of his infamous shirts there as well, and I think this is a really cool car. The Evora is super underrated, super underrated, and costs way less than a 911. So if you want pure driving thrills for sort of 70 grand ish and below, go for it, get one. Love them. This is a slightly earlier Evora. Nice side skirts down there, and this is a really, really, really cool car. And you know, you can get these early Evoras for less than 30 grand now. You can get all that for less than the cost of like a basic Jag XE or a 3 Series. Because not only are these an awesome looking thing and decently fast as well, they're kind of Cayman level fast, but they're going to be very, very niche. You will struggle to find anyone else you know, unless you're part of a Lotus enthusiast group or something, that has one of these. And for the money, I can't think of a single car I would rather buy. This is an Evora GT 410 Sport, which is kind of the halfway house between the Nutter GTE and the standard Evora, and it's in a colour called Vivid Green, which I don't know if you can tell, but is absolutely stunning. Just gorgeous, gorgeous. This might actually be, if not for yellow, my choice of a colour if I were to have an Evora. AP Racing brakes on it, some cheeky carbon in there. This is just awesome, and it's just different. A 911 would slip into the background, an F-Type would just be noisy. This is cool and aggressive, and look at that carbon. Look at that, just look at this and tell me you don't want this stunning, awesome green thing. Love it. This is a little trip back in time to Lotus's past. This is an original Lotus Europa, and it is tiny. 13-inch wheels. They're the size of the Super Seicento wheels, the old ones. Dinky little mirrors, those cones. I love those on classic cars. They're like cone-shaped wing mirrors. Fantastic. Inside, it could be factory new. Just look at it. It's such a weird design. Even down to the way the exhaust just sort of pokes out round the suspension at the back. It's a weird design, and quirky and brilliant. A lot like Lotus themselves. Now this might be my absolute favourite of all the Lotuses in this entire place. This is an Exige 430 Cup, and would you just look at it. Massive wing, massive piece of carbon fibre that's probably worth as much as my house. Really, really nice wheels that are stupidly light, I imagine. AP Racing brakes. Oh, it's stunning, isn't it? This is a properly hardcore track machine. Look at that lip. That is all function. There's nothing superfluous to this at all. Massive, massive bit of carbon there. Exhaust the width of the channel tunnel. Enormous, enormous canards. Look at the seats. There's no padding in those whatsoever. That's all. You sit in it, you're in it, you don't come out. Gear linkage, which you can sort of see there. There you go. Oh, how good is that, right? This isn't meant to be a daily driver. It's not meant to be a car you take to the shops. It's a track car. That's what Lotus are all about. If I was going to have a car just for the track, I think it would be this. This spec, these bits, all the carbon, the wing, the seats. I am absolutely in love with this thing. Function over form, and if it's going to be function, what a form to have it in. This is the very first Lotus that I ever truly liked. Esprit twin turbo V8. This one is a gorgeous spec too. We've got lovely, lovely, lovely dark blue, the tan leather, we've got the black dashboard, switches from a Peugeot 106 apparently, door mirrors from some sort of Citroen, a BX or something of that nature. Door handles are from a Vauxhall Cavalier, and gearboxes from a Renault 25. It's a mishmash of random bits, but put them all together and what you've got is an incredibly, incredibly cool looking car, wouldn't you say? It still looks so good today. Massive pop-up headlights, naturally we like those. Huge vents, which you need for the twin turbo V8. You can tell how not meant for comfort this is, because that's probably pretty much all your storage, and I absolutely love it. Here we've got a later Series 2 Elise, a 1.8S specifically. I might be able to think about one of these in the somewhat near future. I thought I'd get an idea of what it's like to actually be in one of these, because all the Stratton cars, all the ones you can see here, are all open. So let's see if we can take a rather graceful step in and work out what Lotus life is like. That was nice and graceful. I sort of fell into the car there. I expected this to feel really, really cramped. This is genuinely my first impressions getting in the car, but look, shoulder room's not bad. There's some storage behind the seats. It's an Elise, so this roof obviously comes off. And I actually fit in this. I didn't think I would, but I do. Gear changes. Ooh, that's a nice definitive gear change. I like that. The seats, you know, I mean, they don't look like they've got much padding, and to be perfectly honest, they don't feel like it, but I'm a wide guy and I certainly don't feel trapped in here. All the stereotypes you hear about Lotus being cramped and uncomfortable and painful, take it from a guy with very broad shoulders who's 6'2" It's not the case. This is nice. This is no less roomy than the Seicento. I know that's a small car, but that's what I'm used to. Lotuses are winning me over. God damn it, I really, really like this. This lovely little baby blue Elise here is in fact the most basic car Lotus makes. It's a 1.6 VVTi, which is in fact the lowest engine size of any Lotus you can currently buy. Only 134 brake horsepower, but 0 to 60 in 6 seconds and 45 miles to the gallon. Let's have a sit inside this lovely little baby blue midget, shall we? This is lovely. It's really nice. Everything's within reach. This has even got a microphone here, which means this has got Bluetooth hooked up, so you can talk to people while you're driving along. Look, Momo steering wheel. Gear linkage is just lovely and really mechanical. You can hear that. Listen. In modern day cars, they try and disguise things like this. Not with Lotus. There's a bit here, though. It's not cheap and crap. It's even got a little plug here for you to charge your phone and a little pouch to put it in. A Maybach doesn't have that. Well, a Maybach probably does have that, but this is a Lotus. This is a track car, and they're acknowledging their customers. These knobs actually genuinely feel really, really nice. They're not going to come off in my hand, which is what the stereotype would say they would do. The cheapest bit in here is this Pioneer head unit, which isn't even made by Lotus. Should we have a sit in? Let's have a sit in and see what it's like in an Evora. Now this one is a paddle shift, which is unusual for Lotus considering that they're normally all about the manual life. It's got air conditioning and nice bits, and that all feels nice. It doesn't feel like it's going to break off like you often hear about Lotuses. Got a nice Alpine head unit. We've got lots of nice buttons, race mode because it's a Lotus. It's got heated seats. A Lotus with an automatic gearbox, air conditioning and heated seats. It's a brave new world out there, people. A lot of the stereotypes you hear about Lotus is that their quality is shockingly bad, but here it just doesn't feel like the case. These leather seats, really nice, really supportive. Even things like the door card, that doesn't feel crappy and cheap like everyone says it should. Down here, all the buttons, that just clicks into place really, really nice. Everything feels proper, good. I think Lotus have got a bit of a reputation for reliability and quality, much like Alfa Romeo, because in the olden days they broke and they fell apart. People think that they still do now, but Lotuses are not the piles of crap in terms of build quality and reliability that we're told they are. Now I've had the time to get up close and personal with them, I totally get them, and I think that's what a lot of people need to do. Get up close and personal and realise that they're a hell of a lot better and a hell of a lot nicer than we've all been led to believe. This is inside a current shape Elise. Exposed linkage gear lever, which feels really nice and meaty actually. That's just really solid, that's lovely. There's not much in the way of luxury, but there's a lot to be had in the way of fun when you get behind this little wheel. We've got a gentleman here, his name's Mark. Hi Mark.
Hi all.
And he's just bought this. Today he's just bought this lovely Exige S. So Mark, just tell us very quickly, why did you buy this car?
I previously had a Lotus Elise a few years ago, and I've always pined for another Lotus. I've been saving up like crazy for the last year. I want particularly this colour. Came down, done the deal, and pick it up today.
Why do you like Lotus then? What made you go for another one?
Previous one, unfortunately, I had a motorcycle accident, so I had to actually sell my original lease. Over the years, I've always wanted to have another Lotus. I think once you've driven one, it's in your blood.
It's the driving experience.
It is, yes. But it was just the sheer fun of it. I would go the long distance home just to drive it.
That's what it's all about.
It is.
Well, you enjoy it, Mark. Thank you very much, mate.
Cheers.
Enjoy your day. Enjoy your new toy. Cracking car. What a day, an absolutely awesome day filled with loads of awesome Lotuses. Lotus? Sports cars from Norfolk. The point is, I am hugely enthusiastic about these cars now. I came into the day kind of skeptical, I get the appeal, but I'm not sure I'd actually buy one, and I came out of it working out how I could buy one. I absolutely love these things. I love the simplify and add lightness philosophy, and I love the way they're made, and I love the fact that despite the conventions of the sports car world these days of downsizing and eco-friendly, Lotus persists in making hardcore, proper enthusiast cars and selling them to proper enthusiasts. These are not consumer durables, these are cars you will buy and love and cherish, and what more could you ask for in this day and age? I still need to go and drive a Lotus of some sort to confirm that I do definitely want one, but put it this way, if you were to give me enough money to do so, I'd be driving out of here today in a Lotus, and what better way can you summarise my day than that? Thanks very much for watching the video, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to click that thumbs up button and also subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified when a new Miller Corner video is released. But for now, thanks once again for watching, everybody, and have a brilliant rest of your day. See you soon. and have a good one.